Hello everyone, this is Minister William of Reverend Will If You Wish, and this is the sermon for May 1st, 2022. And as always, we will start with a moment of silence for prayer, meditation, or what have you. Thank you. And since this is May 1st, it is May Day, so as I do with the other seasons, other holidays, I will do the history of May Day. May is a May 1st celebration with a long and varied history dating back millennia. Throughout the years, there have been many different events and festivals worldwide, most of with the express purpose of welcoming in change of this season. Spring in the northern hemisphere. In the 19th century, May Day took on a new meaning as an International Workers' Day grew out of the 19th century labor movement for the workers' rights and the 8-hour workday in the United States. May Day 2021 will be celebrated on Saturday, May 1st, 2021. And this was written last year and it's on history.com. For this year, 2022, it's Sunday. Origins of May Day belting. The Celts of the British Isles believed May 1st to be the most important day of the year, when a festival of Beltane, I'm probably butchering that, was held. This May Day festival was thought to divide the year in half, between the light and the dark. Symbolic fire was one of the main rituals of the festival, helping to celebrate the return of life and fertility to the world. When the Romans took over the British Isles, they thought they brought with them their 5-day celebration known as Florina, devoted to the worship of the goddess of flowers, Flora, taking place between April 20th and May 2nd. The ritual of this celebration were eventually combined with Beltane. May Day Maypole Dance. Another another celebration, another public tradition of May Day involves the maypole, which, while the exact origin of the maypole remains unknown, the annual traditions surrounding it can be traced back to medieval times and some say still celebrated today. Villagers would enter the woods to find a maypole that was set up for the day in the small towns, or sometimes permanently in larger cities. The day's festival involved merriment as people would dance around the pole clad with colorful streamers and ribbons. Historians believe the first maypole dance originated as part of the fertility ritual, where the poles symbolized male fertility and baskets and leaves symbolized female fertility. The maypole never really took root in America, where May Day celebrations were discouraged by the Puritans. But other forms of celebrations did find their way to the New World. During the 19th and 20th century, May Basket Day was celebrated across the country, where baskets were created with flowers, candies, and other treats to be hung on doors of friends and neighbors and loved ones on May 1st. International Workers' Day. The connection between May Day and labor rights began in the United States during the 19th century at the height of the Industrial Revolution. Thousands of men, women, and children were dying every year of poor working conditions and long hours. In an attempt to end these inhumane conditions, the Federation of Organized Traders and the labor unions, which would later become the American Federation of Labor, or AFL, held a convention in Chicago in 1884. The FOTLU proclaimed 8 hours shall constitute a legal day's labor from and after May 1st, 1886. The following year, the Knights of Labor, then America's largest labor organization, backed the proclamation as both groups encouraged workers to strike and demonstrate. On May 1st, 1886, more than 300,000 workers, 40,000 in Chicago alone, from 13,000 businesses walked out of their jobs across the country. In the following days, more workers joined, and the numbers of strikers grew to almost 100,000. Haymarket Riot. Overall, the protests were peaceful, but that all changed on May 3rd, where Chicago police and workers clashed at the McCormick Reaper Works. The next day, a rally was planned at Haymarket Square to protest the killing and wounding of several workers by the police. The speaker, August Spies, was winding down when a group of officers arrived to disperse the crowd. As the police advanced, an individual who was never identified threw a bomb into their ranks. Chaos ensued, and at least 7 police officers and 8 civilians died as a result of violence that day. The Haymarket Riot, also known as the Haymarket Affair, set off a national wave of repression. In August 1886, 8 men labeled as anarchists were convicted in a sensational and controversial trial. Despite there being no solid evidence linking defendants to the bombing, the jury was considered to be biased with ties to big business. 7 of the convicted men received death sentences, and the 8th was sentenced to 15 years in prison. In the end, 4 of the men were hanged, 1 committed suicide, and the remaining 3 were pardoned 6 years later. A few years after the Haymarket Riot, the subsequent trials shocked the world. A newly formed coalition of socialist and labor parties in Europe called the demonstration to honor the Haymarket martyrs. In 1890, over 300,000 people protested at the May Day rally in London. The workers' history of May 1st was eventually embraced by many governments worldwide, not just those with socialist or communist influences. May Day today. Today, May Day is an official holiday in 66 countries, unofficially celebrated in many more, but ironically, it is rarely recognized in the country where it began, the United States of America. After the 1894 Pullman strike, President Grover Cleveland officially moved the U.S. celebration of Labor Day to the first Monday in September, intentionally severing ties with the International Workers' Celebration for fear that it would build support for the communism and other radical ideas or radical causes. Dwight D. Eisenhower tried to reinvent May Day in 1958, further distancing the memories of the Haymarket riot by declaring May 1st to be Law Day, celebrating the place of law in the creation of the United States. May Day 2022 is on May 1st, 2022. I changed it from May 21. And that's it. May Day. At first, I was not sure what to do as far as a sermon, but then when I heard about it being May Day, I knew I had to do the history of May Day. Especially with so much going on nowadays, with everyone fighting for enough money to get enough pay to pay their bills and feed their families and put a roof over their heads. I figured it would be a good thing to talk about. But I hope you all have a good May Day, and I hope all good things come to you. And remember, when we all come together, the possibilities are endless. Thank you.